If you're looking at San Francisco real estate and haven't seriously considered the Excelsior District, then you're leaving one of the best values in the entire city on the table. In today's video, I'm gonna show you exactly why. We're doing a deep dive on the Excelsior District, and we're gonna speak about food, coffee, drinks, parks, school, transportation, shopping, and to end things off, what it looks like from a real estate perspective. By the end of this video, you're gonna have a real picture of what living in the Excelsior District would actually look like. Hey everyone, by the way, my name's Epstein, and I'm a lifelong San Franciscan and realtor here in the Bay Area. If you're thinking about buying, selling, investing, or even renting a property in or near San Francisco, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to be a resource for you. You can find my contact information below. And with that, let's get back into the video. Okay, let's begin by talking about the neighborhood overview. Let's start with the basics. Where is the Excelsior District and what is it known for? The Excelsior is in the southern eastern part of San Francisco. It's bordered by the Mission to the north and Daly City to its south. Mission Street runs through the heart of it, and it's really the main commercial corridor. Here, you have all your food, shopping, and daily essentials you could ever want. If you're thinking about this neighborhood, this is a street you definitely want to get familiar with. What sets the Excelsior apart is that it's one of the most multicultural neighborhoods in the entire city. You might walk down Mission Street and not only hear English, but you could hear Tagalog, Spanish, and Chinese. Here you'll see Filipino bakeries next to Mexican taquerias, next to Chinese restaurants. It's genuinely diverse in a real lived-in way. There are a ton of families and businesses that have been here for decades. Now, it's not a trendy neighborhood like Noe Valley or the Mission District, but I would say that's one of the things that actually makes this neighborhood so special and unique. It's kind of under the radar. The Excelsior is real San Francisco in every way possible. It's working class, residential, and unpretentious. People here know their neighbors, and corner stores have been around forever. Here, there's a genuine sense of community that's becoming harder and harder to find in this city. If you're looking for authentic San Francisco without the tech money and hype, then look no further than the Excelsior. Okay, so now let's talk about food and drink. This is where the Excelsior District is truly underrated. I personally believe it deserves a lot more credit than what it gets. Let's start with everyone's favorite morning drink, coffee. For your everyday local coffee, Excelsior Coffee is your spot. This is a neighborhood cafe that has become a real anchor for this community. It's the kind of place you might walk into someone you know, grab your coffee, and sit down for a bit. It has that local feel that's hard to manufacture and is easy to fall in love with. Now, when it comes to Mexican food, the Excelsior has some heavy hitters. First up is Ecare Taqueria. This is a local spot that has been serving the community for years. It's the kind of spot that doesn't need to advertise because the food is so good, locals continue to come back. Then you have Mama Mary's Taqueria, which is another local's favorite. And lastly, you have one of the Taqueria El Farolito's location here. If you've spent any time in San Francisco, then you've probably heard of this establishment. It's quite the institution. It's the kind of burrito that everyone in the city has an opinion about. If you haven't been, that needs to change and you need to check it out. The portions are great and it's a San Francisco staple. For pizza, you have two very popular options that represent two very different sides of San Francisco. First, you have Little Joe's Pizza. This is a neighborhood spot that has been around and has many regulars. It does the job very well, there's no frills, and it's just good pizza. Next, you have North Beach Pizza. This is a city classic. Having a location in this neighborhood is a real win. Regarding Asian food, the Excelsior also delivers here. Notably, you have Jay Jempong. I'm sorry if I butchered the name, but here you have a great blend of Chinese and Korean dishes. If you've never had jjimjeong itself, it's a spicy Korean seafood noodled soup dish. It's bold, warming, and exactly the kind of dish the city doesn't celebrate enough. As for Vietnamese, you have pho golden. Luckily, a good bowl of pho is not hard to find in the neighborhood, and pho golden delivers on just that. As you can see, this is the kind of neighborhood where you can eat incredibly well and not spend crazy amounts of money. Now, for a classic, it's worth mentioning Ann's Donut and Coffee Shop. Ann's is the perfect representation for old school San Francisco. It's a donut shop and a coffee counter that has a timeless feel to it. It's not fancy, it's just good and has been for a very long time. Now, if you're looking to wind down at the end of the day, Luckily, the Excelsior has you covered there too. Tala Wine is a wine bar that brings something a little bit more elevated to the neighborhood. This is a great spot to have a nice glass of wine in a relaxed, low-key setting. It's great that you can get this without having to drive to the Ferry Building or Hayes Valley. For a neighborhood bar, there's the Recovery Room. This is your classic local bar. It's the kind of place you may want to go after work, catch a game, or talk to your neighbors. Just about every neighborhood has one, and the Recovery Room is the Excelsior's. Real quick here, drop down in the comments below what matters more to you, having a solid wine bar or having a great taqueria option. I'm curious what matters most to you when you're evaluating where to live. Now we're gonna move on to our next segment on parks, recreation, and green space. One of the things that people overlook the most when it comes to the Excelsior District is the proximity to the green space. And I don't mean just one park. The neighborhood is genuinely surrounded by a ton of parks. Let's start with the big one, which is McLaren Park. This is the second largest park in the entire city, and many residents who don't live on the southern part of the city have even ever heard of it. McLaren Park has a ton of things to do. Hiking trails, playgrounds, a golf course, and even Jerry Garcia Amphitheater, which hosts free events during the summer. If you're a nature person, have kids, or just like open space near your home, then this is a huge asset. It's not Golden Gate Park, and you're not gonna get tourism or crowds here. On the contrary, it's quieter, greener, and feels more like a retreat. Alice Chambers Playground is another local staple in the community. It's the kind of amenity that's great to have if you have young children. But here's the bigger picture that I want you to truly understand. The Excelsior sits in a part of San Francisco that's truly nestled between some great outdoor spaces. Just to its south, you have San Bruno Mountain State Park. There you have over 2,300 acres of open space. Notably, you have hiking trails, wildflowers, and great sweeping views of the bay. That's a state park that's easily accessible from your backyard if you're in the Excelsior. Now close by to the northwest, you have Balboa Park. This has open fields, tennis courts, a pool, and easy access to the BART station. And just a bit further out, you're in close proximity to Glen Park and Bernal Heights Park. These are beloved neighborhood parks that Excelsior residents can easily access. By the way, if you haven't been, Bernal Heights in particular has some of the best views of the entire city. Ultimately, what I'm saying is this: if outdoor access and green space matters to you, then the Excelsior delivers on that. Okay, now we're gonna move on to schools and community services. Now for schools, most notably, you have Balboa High School, which is a public high school that sits just outside the border of the neighborhood. Now for community resources, one thing that's worth knowing about is the Excelsior Branch San Francisco Public Library. It's a local branch that's part of the system, and it's a real community anchor. People don't just come here for books and reading. People come here for programming, resources, and a place that's quiet where you can do your work. Also worth mentioning is that the neighborhood has deep community organizations. There are neighborhood associations, cultural associations, and community groups that have been around here for decades. Community infrastructure actually exists and functions here, which is a great quality of life difference. Now we're gonna move on to shopping and everyday essentials. The Excelsior is well set up here. You have Safeway in the area for your standard grocery needs. This location has parking, a large selection, and your full setup. Now what sets the neighborhood apart is its local, cultural produce markets that are located throughout Mission Street. Here you'll find Filipino, Latino, and Chinese markets that will have items that your local grocer will not carry. Think fresh produce and ingredients at reasonable prices that you may not be able to find elsewhere. Having these markets here are a real advantage to the neighborhood. They're part of what gives the area its character. Okay, up next, we're gonna talk about transportation and getting around. Okay, the main public transportation option here is the Muni 14 and 14R lines. The 14 Mission line is one of the busiest and most valuable lines in the city. It runs along Mission Street and connects the Excelsior with downtown San Francisco. If you work in downtown or Soma and don't want to deal with parking, this is a great option. Some other lines that run in or near the Excelsior are the 43 Masonic line and the 29 Sunset line. This gives you connection to other parts of the city that are not the downtown corridor itself. You also have access to the 8 Bayshore line, which connects you to Caltrain and gives you easy access to the peninsula. Now, I'll be direct with you. The Excelsior neighborhood does not have a BART station. Balboa Park BART station is the closest, and it is accessible from the neighborhood, but it's not an easy stroll from the heart of the Excelsior. That's worth noting so that if you are BART dependent, keep this in mind. What the Excelsior does offer is great freeway access. You are close to both 101 and 280. For anyone commuting to the Peninsula or South Bay, this is genuinely convenient. The Excelsior is one of those neighborhoods where driving out of the city is actually easy, which is quite different from many neighborhoods. Now lastly, let's talk about my favorite subject, which is real estate. The Excelsior is one of the most affordable neighborhoods in the city, especially for those people that want space. A large part of the housing stock here are consisting of single-family homes, many of which have garages and backyards. Funny enough, these are luxuries that many San Francisco neighborhoods don't offer or that you have to pay a premium for. Now the architecture here consists of primarily post-war stucco homes with a sprinkle of older mixed-in Victorians. Most homes here are not postcard San Francisco, but they are truly functional, livable, and real. Now the median home price here is right around $1.2 million. Now who is the Excelsior for? Typically it's for families. It's also for first-time homebuyers who want more than a one-bedroom condo and don't want to compromise their entire financial position for it. If you value space, community, and an authentic neighborhood, then the Excelsior is a great option. Now it's not for everyone, but for the right buyer, the Excelsior is one of the best values in the city. If you're thinking about buying in the Excelsior and want to see what your budget actually gets you, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help. You can find my contact information below. Now let's bring this all together and wrap up. The Excelsior is a real multicultural, residential, and working class neighborhood in the southeastern part of San Francisco. It offers a food scene that's genuinely underrated. It has incredible green spaces anchored by McLaren Park. It has solid public transportation and easy freeway access. It has cultural markets, a neighborhood bar, and local coffee shops. And finally, it has single-family homes with backyards at price points that are still within reach for many. Is it perfect? Well, no neighborhood is. It doesn't have BART at your doorstep. It doesn't have the buzz of the Mission or the polish of Noe Valley. But what it does have is something that many neighborhoods have lost, which is a real sense of community. People who move to the Excelsior tend to stay, and there's a reason for that. Okay, so that wraps up this video. If you found this video helpful, it would mean the world to me if you could like, comment, and subscribe. The best way to support me is by sharing this video with others who might find it helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.